wanted to talk to you today a little bit about fire prevention on mobile mining equipment. Both the Queensland and New South Wales regulatory bodies in the mining industry have now issued position papers or guidelines on fires on mobile mining equipment over the years. There's been many, as you can imagine. And I believe if we don't take this seriously and act proactively in the industry, we're going to end up with more regulation, more laws like Regulation 66 that requires us to slam on brakes and do dynamic brake testing simply because we couldn't do the maintenance on the brakes properly enough over the years. So it's really important that as an industry we take this on board now and start acting to reduce these fires. So preventing fires on mobile mining equipment as opposed to suppressing them. I'm not talking about fire suppression, I'm talking about fire prevention. From the work that we've done, there's really 4 key elements to that. The first is having a look at the risk assessment for fires on the equipment, and often when you look at these risk assessments, they haven't considered actions to prevent the fires. The mitigating actions to those risks really are centred around the fire suppression. So we need to review those risk assessments and put in there the actions that will help us prevent the fires. And some of those actions are not only the design standards, but certainly that's a component that comes out of that risk assessment. We need to have a design standard for those machines that have fire prevention components, such as guarding or separation, lagging and those sorts of things, but also the elements around what are critical defects in critical areas where we won't tolerate leaks or wear on hoses and those sort of things. We need to identify those as mitigating actions as well. So the equipment standards is the second thing that's required. And thirdly, we need documented maintenance plans and PM checklists that enable us to maintain the integrity of that fire prevention equipment as it was designed. And then fourthly, and most importantly, the execution of those maintenance plans is essential. In fact, we've found that even if you don't have a great risk assessment, you don't have great standards or anything like that, if people care and if people have a chronic unease of fire on this mobile mining equipment, they will take the necessary actions to ensure the integrity of that machine, ensure that there's no leaks or hoses that can burst and start these fires. Just with execution quality alone, I believe that we can stop 80% of the fires on mobile mining equipment. If we add the other items of the risk assessment and the equipment standards, we'll stop 90% of them. So it costs a significant amount less to prevent fires than it does to suppress them. And even if the fire suppression works, which it often doesn't, then you still have to report the fire in the first place. And the impost of more legislation will be significant to us, cost us time and money. So my message is really, let's take this seriously, let's be proactive and start taking actions, especially focused around the execution of our maintenance on this equipment that will prevent these fires. And as the regulator in New South Wales said in their recent paper, is that their position is that all of these fires are avoidable, and from our experience we've seen exactly the same thing. It's time for us as an industry to take it seriously and do something about this proactively.